This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our exclusive multi-state cannabis operator sponsor, Curaleaf, one of the nation's top vertically integrated medical and wellness cannabis operators with 53 local dispensaries, 15 cultivation sites, and 24 processing facilities operating in 17 states. You can learn more about Curaleaf over at curaleaf.com with Curaleaf spelled C-U-R-A-L-E-A-F. That's curaleaf.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Thursday, April 23rd, 2020, and you're tuned in to episode 920 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Kyle Yeager starts the day off with some coronavirus-related news, but some happier-toned coronavirus-related news, at least, as on Tuesday, the U.S. Senate passed a pandemic relief bill that will allow farmers, including those that cultivate hemp, to tap into a program that previously had been inaccessible. Kyle has all the details on this, which I would encourage you to read in full, but in short, farmers can now apply to the Small Business Association's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. And since hemp is now federally legal under the 2018 Farm Bill, hemp farmers are also included. Keeping the not terrible news train rolling is Chris Moore over Mary Jane with some new numbers out of Arkansas's not quite year-old medical marijuana program, which has seen just over $63 million in sales since opening up in May of last year. Of that $63 million in change total, $23 million has come in the last month alone due to pandemic closing panic buying. Chris is reporting that medical marijuana shops in the state appear to still be doing okay, especially with the ability to make home deliveries. If Arkansas is on your radar at all, I'd give this one a read in full as well. Rounding out today's top news is another story looking for a silver lining in the midst of all this fire. The Chicago Tribune takes a look at the case of Chicago native Kayla Jarzab, who lost her job as a server in a restaurant when it closed down to the pandemic last month. Ms. Jarzab astutely looked into legal cannabis jobs and quickly found a position with Cresco Labs working in a dispensary just blocks from where she lives. In today's barren employment landscape, it's just nice to hear of anyone finding a decent position, especially in legal cannabis. Cheer yourself up a touch and add this one to your list to read. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Curaleaf, one of the nation's top multi-state cannabis operators with 53 local dispensaries, 15 cultivation sites, and 24 processing facilities operating in 17 states. Since Curaleaf has been designated an essential service in all the states it operates in, the team over there has taken a number of steps to adjust their operating procedures to keep their patients, customers, and employees as safe as possible. That's why Curaleaf now offers early hours exclusively for older patient customers, and why they're setting up new ways for you to wait in place and pick up your orders directly from your car. Swing over to curaleaf.com to see the state-by-state listing for how each shop is operating, as laws and procedures vary by location. That's curaleaf.com, spelled C-U-R-A-L-E-A-F. That's also where you can learn more about the very important organization, the Veterans Cannabis Project, which works to expand access to medical marijuana by military veteran patients. You can read more about that over at vetscp.org. Big thanks to everyone at Curaleaf for the support that helps us keep our news lights on. All right, time for the Blitz. A new study out of the University of Michigan finds that 28% of survey respondents are using alcohol or marijuana to cope with the stresses of the coronavirus pandemic. 22% say they've been drinking more alcohol than usual, and 14% using more cannabis. You can read more about the survey's findings, which tapped 562 adults over at the University of Michigan. We have another survey, this time diving into the legal marijuana industry and the consumers that make it up. Javier Haas over at Benzinga has a good write-up on this, with the top of the line points being a finding that the social stigma of marijuana is still present for many consumers, while most people see cannabis as a safer substance to use than alcohol. Another interesting point is the fuzzy line between adult use and medical consumption. A lot of people see their cannabis use as both. I definitely give this one a read. Jumping on the legal cannabis bandwagon is Easyriders magazine, the biker-focused publication first published in 1970, as it just announced a deal valued at $30 million to sell Easyriders branded CBD and CBG products. Kyle has another story on the day with a group of 10 Democratic senators sending a letter to congressional leaders urging that legal marijuana companies be allowed to tap into federal relief funds for businesses impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. We've covered this one extensively, as right now even ancillary cannabis companies like my own little publishing firm here are blocked from getting any kind of federal help. Yesterday, the group of 10 senators, led by Senators Ron Wyden of Oregon and Jackie Rosen of Nevada, sent their letter pressing that legal cannabis businesses be able to access specifically the Paycheck Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. You can read more about that and find their letter printed in full over at Kyle's story on Marijuana Moment. Another story, another Kyle byline, this time with pickup of news out of California that an effort to place a ballot measure into November's elections seeking the legalization of psilocybin mushrooms is throwing in the towel due to the impossibility of collecting signatures of support. As Kyle points out, the group Decriminalize California had a lot of work to do in the first place in order to pass their boldly progressive initiative, but the pandemic eliminated any chance of success. We have yet another poll, this time with Green Market Report reporting on a poll out of Washington, D.C. that finds that a slim majority of potential voters in the district support a proposed ballot measure to decriminalize psychedelic mushrooms. The survey found that 51% of respondents said they would vote in favor of the proposed Initiative 81. More than 30,000 valid signatures are still needed to be collected, though, so if that's to happen, D.C. is going to have to change up its policies around how signatures can be collected, and it needs to do it fast because the deadline for submission is July 6th. So we'll keep watching this one. With our final story on the day, we have Jeff Smith over Marijuana Business Daily charting out how things look in the world of legal cannabis lobbying spending in 2019 versus 2018, showing how the industry's bigger players are laying out resources to try to influence policymaking. I need to drop a quick disclosure on this one because one of the entities charted in this story is our sponsor Curaleaf, which spent $890,000 on lobbying in 2019 versus just $160,000 in 2018. The Cannabis Trade Federation gets the prize for the biggest jump, though, as it spent $170,000 on lobbying in 2018 before jumping up to $1.36 million last year. Pop over to see the others listed and for more detail and context. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Curaleaf, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with Marijuana Today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.